hope you guys are doing good today. We are going to draw a flower today, and we're going to kind of add a special outline to the flower. It almost is going to look like a ripple, okay? So here's my finished one, but I'm gonna do it again with you. So I'm gonna start with the flower, and then I'm going to kind of repeat the flower over and over again. Almost kind of the same effect if you drop a pebble or a little rock into water into a pond, and you see the ripple kind of move outwards. Also kind of similar, my third graders or anyone who's older than third grade remembers those spinning wheels that we did with the warm and cool colors. This kind of extends in a similar way until we run out of space on the page, okay? So we're gonna start with the flower. Okay, so here's my plain piece of paper. I'm gonna start with a pencil, just as usual, okay? I'm gonna start up here. I'm going to draw a circle for the middle of my flower, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect circle, just something round, okay? Then I'm gonna start adding petals to my flower. Okay, these are kind of, we like to call these football-shaped petals, okay? So I'm just going around, making my petals. Okay. So there's my flower and my petals. Now I'm gonna make a stem, and I'm just going to make the stem go all the way down to the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna draw the other side of the stem, make it a thick stem, and then I'm gonna draw some leaves on either side of the stem. Okay, there's my flower. Now, you do not have to do this part, but I am going to outline my flower with black marker before I color it. You can use today, I'm going to be using marker, but you can use marker, crayons, colored pencil, whatever you prefer. I'm going to turn my paper as I do this to help me steady my lines. All right, I'm gonna just fix this a little bit because I extended my lines and they're kind of bumpy. So I'm just gonna make a thicker line around the center here. All right. If you do outline in marker and you want to erase any pencil marks that aren't right on them, if you didn't trace right on the line, that's fine. Go ahead and do that, but that is optional. You don't have to do that. Okay, now I've already picked out markers to use, or colors that I want to use. So I'm going to use some blues and greens for my flower and my stem and leaves. And then I'm going to use these reds, or actually there's no red in here, but I have like a pink, orange, yellow colors for my background. And these colors, if you we've talked about sometimes warm and cool colors. So these are considered warm. We think of the sun, fire, are yellow and orange colors. Cool colors, we think of trees that provide shade or water that we'd like to jump in the summer that cools us down. Or sitting on the cool grass is cooler than if we're on like the sidewalk, or the sand tends to get hot, right? So the grass though stays cool. So cool colors are these ones. These are warm colors. And you don't have to do a color scheme, but I'm gonna do cool colors for my flower and then warm colors in the background so that they contrast, okay? So that makes my flower pop out from the background so it doesn't blend into the background and get lost. Okay, so I'm gonna start the middle of my flower. I'm gonna color it in. Okay, I'm gonna do my petals. This is kind of a teal color. I'm slowing down when I get near the edge so that I can stay in the lines. If you haven't outlined, I'm gonna turn it around so the flower is closer to me. If you haven't outlined with something first, we'll make sure to outline the petal with what we're coloring with. So I'm gonna skip and do every other petal here. So I'm gonna make an outline here and here. So especially if I didn't have this black line, it helps to outline the petal first. Then I can color it easily in the lines for the rest of the petal. Okay. All right, one more petal. All right, so I've got my flower done. Now I need to do my stem and my leaves. Again, I have a placemat, so when I'm coloring off the page, I don't get it on the table. All right, now I'm gonna color in my leaves. All right. Okay, so I am finished coloring in my flower. All right, so next, I'm going to start making my ripples, okay, or my outline. So I'm gonna start with pencil, okay? So if I mess up, I can erase. But basically, I'll start at the top here. I'm going to, about a pencil's width, or like a pinky finger, width away from the petal, I'm going to start outlining. Okay, like I'm giving it a border. So I'm going to go all the way around the entire flower and stem and leaves, but I'm staying, I'm never touching the flower. Okay, the outline never touches the flower, it just goes on the outside. Okay, so there's my first outline. I'm going to color that one in before I move on to the next one. I think I'm going to use yellow. So now I'm switching to my warm colors, okay? All right, so I'm done with my first layer, okay? Now I'm going to switch back to my pencil and I'm gonna draw another one. Okay, it's gonna be shaped a little bit different now because my spaces in between are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, and I'm gonna get closer to the edge of my paper. Again, turning your paper so that you're drawing on the part that's closest to you tends to make it easier. So don't feel like your paper has to stay straight. It can be straight at the end when you're finished. Okay. So this one I'm gonna do this kind of orangey red color. Okay, and this time I'm gonna outline the inside and the outside as before I'm coloring each section in. Okay, to help me stay in the lines, creating a border there. Okay. I think it's easiest to outline each section as I go, as I'm coloring, instead of outlining the whole thing and then coloring it in. I think it's easier to do it a little bit at a time as I work my way around. So I outline my little section and then I color it in. almost around for the second time. Okay, now this project does take a little bit of time, so if you want to stop at this point and take a break, just fixing some edges here, and come back to it, that's totally fine. You can take a break, okay? I'm going to keep going so that those of you who want to keep going can keep going with me. But if you need to take a break, pause the video, come back to it and fast forward to this spot, feel free to do that. Okay. Now I'm going to start with my pencil again because my space is getting smaller in here, okay? So when I draw my border, I'm just gonna skip drawing into there and I'm just gonna go straight to the outside, okay, to my leaf. So this will all be colored in with the next color. So we're just basically making layers, okay? Layers and layers and layers. They can look like, you know, similar to ripples in a pond or like sun rays or like a light shining out. All right, actually this one I'm gonna do 2 layers, so I'm ready to color for the next one. So I'm gonna draw my next layer as well with my pencil. So this one is going to start going off the page. So I'm going to go off the page there and then start over here and go off the page. Okay, see how I'm running off the page? Okay, this one I don't have enough space to go in there. So I'm just gonna go right back out to go around my leaf. All right. Now you can keep drawing if it's easier for you to keep going with the pencil to extend it before you color. Go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna take a break and continue my coloring. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of creating a pattern. I'm switching to pink now. I'm creating a pattern with my markers and then I'm just going to repeat that pattern. So if you have if you make all of your lines to the outside or more than one like me, it's best to outline and color as you go so we don't get confused as to which one we are coloring, okay? So the pink is just gonna be next to the red-orange. All right, done with my pink layer. I think I'm gonna use just regular orange next. This is a thicker marker, so it should color quicker than my skinny markers. And again, if you need to stop and take a break and come back to it tomorrow or the next day, that's fine. A lot of these projects that we're doing, if we did them in school, like our regular art class in school, we would probably need 2 times in art class to do some of them. But if you have the time, because you're at home, you know, you can do the whole thing. All right, now I'm going to, so I used all 4 of my markers. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to yellow. Okay. But pencil first. I'm gonna do 2 layers. All right, so this one, I'm going to go in and just make a little. All right, so technically, we'll see when I color. But I'm gonna color just this little triangle section. I'm gonna color that, this orange color and this part yellow, okay? So this part will be yellow. Just to kind of, because this is too small of a section to do the whole outline, but it's also big enough that I want there to be more than one color in there. Okay, and just kind of depending on the shape of your flower and where things end up, this is going to be different for each person. Okay, like on this one, see, this was able to go in here, and then I was able to do these shapes. So I was able to keep getting into that section because it's a little bit bigger over here. And this one on this side, it's a little bit different. Okay, so everyone's is going to turn out a little different, and that's awesome, okay? So this one, I'm just making a little triangle, okay? So this will be the next color, that spot. All right, so now we're starting to go off the page almost at every section. So there's going to be less to color. Okay, and then we're going to start having to skip over to use our same color. Okay, so let's start my next. All right, I have to go off the paper there. So I'm going to pick it up over here. There's not enough room there, so I'm done at that one. All right, I'm going to start coloring. Okay, so this whole section, except for inside that triangle, is going to be yellow. All right. See how that worked? Okay. So if this were, because it's an outline, so I'm outlining the orange, it outlines the orange there, and then it outlines the orange here. It just runs into each other, and that's why it connects right here, okay? Okay, really skinny right here, but still needs some yellow there, okay. All right, so we had to skip a few times up here and pretend like we kept going, continued, okay, but for the most part, that still went all the way around. So this next one, yellow and then red, orange, we're gonna have to skip a little bit more often. Okay, so, but we're still gonna work our way around so we don't lose track, okay? That's why it's best to do one color at a time. I'm just gonna go ahead and touch the edge of the page with that one. Okay. Okay, now before I go over here, I'm gonna do this little, because after yellow comes the red orange. So I'm going to fill in this little triangle. Okay. Okay, so I've ended, so I need to look to the next part of the flower. Okay, there's this little triangle here, teeny tiny, but it still needs to get colored in. All right, so that one's done. Now I need to keep working my look over here. Okay, there it is. All right, so I need to pretend, so let's pretend this goes around. Okay, it starts right back over here. right, so now I'm gonna switch back to my pencil. And I'm going to I'm gonna finish drawing my ripples all the way to the edge of the paper. Okay, but I'm gonna go one around before I keep going. All right, so this one will come in a little bit here. I'm gonna end up with a tiny triangle like I did on this side. All right, it'll come around here. Pretend it's going around. Okay. Now here, I don't have any room left over here, so this would have gone back here, and then I'm gonna pick it back up on this side. Okay? Skip, return over here, and over here, you know what, I don't have a lot of space, so I'm just gonna come in, and I'm gonna make a little triangle there, okay? This would go all around here, pick it back up. Okay. Now I'm just going to finish drawing my ripples. So this shape will continue like this. Okay. I don't have any room left on this one, so that one's done. I think I can fit, just one more in there. Okay, so that one's done. This one, I think I can fit 2 or 3 more. Yeah, let's do one tiny little one there. There we go. This one's done. And this one I can probably fit 2 or 3 more as well. Okay, now we're gonna go in and color, but we're still gonna color one at a time. One row all the way around the flower at a time so we don't get confused which color we're on, so we can keep our pattern going. Okay, so after red, orange is the pink. So just look at whatever pattern, whatever color you ended up with to follow your pattern, okay? All right, skipping over to the other side. Next one is pink. Okay. So it's starting to go faster because the sections are getting smaller as we go. Okay, after pink comes regular orange. So regular orange. All right, I have a teeny little triangle there. All right, that was quick. All right. Oop, I missed a section. I sped up too quick. Okay, little triangle here. Let me check. Okay, down here. Okay. After orange is yellow. All right, I have to go all the way over here, okay, because I don't have any more left over here. Okay, so we're filling in the spots we have left. Okay, none left over here. Go all the way over here. Okay, none left here, and I'm back at the bottom. Okay, what comes after yellow? Red, orange. All right, this section is already full, so I don't need any red, orange over here. But I do right over here. Okay, full all the way over here. And then I just need this little section here. Okay, after red, orange is pink. All right, I'm full all the way over here. Just this tiny little corner needs to be colored in. All right, full all the way over here. This tiny little corner needs to be colored in. All right, and I have one little section left, so I'm gonna switch colors. After pink comes orange. And I'm gonna fill in that little corner orange. And I'm finished. Okay, so you can pick your color scheme. I'm gonna bring back my other one. Okay, they look totally different, but similar. Okay, but having the flower a different color scheme than the background is going to really make the flower pop out at you, okay? But all right, I hope you had fun making your ripple flower.